Hello, everyone. This is my introduction and the building professional capacity in ourselves first, then others. This class is EDL 851 and Module 1. Who is Colter Scott? Colter Scott is Coach Scott, brother, son, uncle, Mr. Scott, Mr. Coulter, a lot of different things. I am a big family guy. I have one older sister and two younger sisters. I have a 3-year-old nephew, and then I also have a niece that is due within a couple months. And then I have 2 awesome brother-in-laws. Involved in Young Life, which is a youth organization. Woolly Farms is an adult day service that I worked with this past summer, which was a ton of fun. I also, like I said, I am Coach Scott. I start the year with football, where I'm in charge of O-line and special teams coordinator. Winter months, I am freshman girls basketball and assistant varsity coach. Then I move to track and field, where I am the head throwing coach for all 3 events. Then the upper left-hand corner there, it was awesome this last season for basketball. We were Kansas 6A state champions for girls in basketball, which was an awesome way to end the season, obviously. My education is I have an undergraduate degree from Baker University in sports administration. I have a master's degree from Fort Hays, which is I was the transition to teaching program, and is in special education. And then I'm currently working on the endorsement, just like everybody else here. My profession, I have worked for Auburn Washington School District for 8 years now. The current position, I am the Adaptive Physical Education, which I have just started my 5th year in. With Adaptive Physical Education, I'm a related service provider for kids with disabilities and focus on gross motor skills. Currently have 48 students on my caseload. They are kindergarten to 12th grade, and I also assist a few within the 18 to 21 transition program. And then, as I've mentioned before, I coach all of these sports. So now going into the content over the module, building professional capacity. A little definition that kind of encompasses that came up with is that leadership capacities are the characteristics, abilities, decisions, styles, skills, and attributes of a person in a leadership position that they possess or are perceived to possess by others around them. On the next couple slides, there may be some repeats, but obviously if they repeat, they're more important that way. But over the resources, these were the characteristics of a school or educational leader, or really any type of leader that you kind of need to have to really be successful leading a group of people or students. First off, you got to know yourself and your value. We have to be honest and have the integrity. You have to be able to trust and empower other people and yourself. You got to be able to communicate, collaborate, and connect with others. Positive energy. You have to have the energy, which I think takes a lot out of people, but you have to have that caring and protective energy so everybody wants to be around you. That confidence will go right along with that to get people to follow you. Being inspiring is another part of that. We have to be able to create a safe environment. You have to make sure everybody feels comfortable with that they're around, or we're not going to be successful at all. You got to have the commitment. Be creative. Things may not go the right way the first time, so you have to be creative how you do things. The ability to manage all aspects of the role. You are in charge of everything. Staff, students, community, the data, improvements, computers, anything and everything will ultimately come back to you in some way, shape, or form. So you need to stay informed and be able to weigh and manage many different roles. And obviously, we want to set high standards, but attainable standards for everybody. That's staff, students, even your any school stakeholders. So those standards need to be obtainable, but we need to set high standards as well. Next is how to build professional capacity. Right off the bat, and starting this course all the way together almost a whole year ago, you have to have a strong mission, vision, and core value. You have to have those to set a foundation so all teachers, all students, all stakeholders realize what's happening. It's a great just standard that helps a school get going and things keep moving, so everything can relay back to that. To build this, need to have powerful norms, ethical, moral, and professional norms that keep everybody contained in one solid group. Identify the goals for a group, which kind of goes back up to that norms. Share the leadership roles. Obviously, as I just said on the last slide, we do, as leaders, we encompass everything, the whole building, inside out, and online. We have to make sure we delegate things and just kind of keep an eye out on things, and then give ownership up. If I try to keep everything to myself and say I'm going to run everything by myself, then I'm not allowing my staff to really come in and provide their input and make them feel wanted. So then if I don't make them feel wanted, then maybe they won't want to work harder or won't be able to get burned out a little bit faster. Have to be able to provide feedback and praise. That is with everybody. Build relationships with staff and students. Obviously, there's a line there where you can't get to know staff and students way over the top and too well, but you have to be able to give a little bit of yourself to them. They need to understand that you are real, that there is no, that you're not power hungry. Create mentorships for team members, create learning opportunities from inside and outside, create opportunities for staff to build a relationship with each other. I feel like that's very important. And then just overall accountability. If we say we're going to do something, we need to hold that word. We need to be able to have follow through as much as possible. So if we can encompass in all but the majority of these, we could really build a professional capacity that will help see some success in our future. Responsibilities of school personnel. Overall, like I said, it's everything, but here are some big ones. They recruit, they hire, they retain. They're responsible for all of that. Reduce turnovers within that retainment, professional development, or adult learning theory. We have to make sure we kind of differentiate the two. Evaluation and supervision, leadership opportunities, personal and professional health, and then that balance between work life and regular life balance. We have to have that in order to have a successful place, and a school leader will help provide that guidelines, those norms to help differentiate the work life and regular life. So next we're going to go through a little bit of self-reflection. Here's the chart that's provided, broken down in between each of the sections. The first one there is the school capacity, professional capacity, which was the recruitment, the selecting and hiring. I believe this is a strength of mine of engaging people and talking about positions that are open and really getting to know people, making them feel comfortable. Obviously, one that I do a lot of work with is paraprofessionals within the special education world, and it's always never rotating position. So we're always looking for people. So this is one that I've more helped with. Now, the actual hiring of somebody, I have not really been involved in that, but I have sat in on plenty of interviews to be able to help hire somebody and give feedback of how that happens. The next section was the collaborative professional, which is school improvements, teaching retention, and then the well-being of staff and students. Teaching retention, I really don't feel like I have a whole lot of experience over the really the retention part of like knowing that I keep people there. But I feel like my energy and getting to know people and helping staff members when I'm around helps with that retention a little bit. I would like to think so. Providing for school improvement within my adaptive PE position and working across our entire district, I feel like I've helped make some school improvements that are strong suggestions for the students I work with that really impact really everybody in the long run. And then I have the well-being of students and staff, I think, is a very huge strength of mine. Creating relationships with staff and students and checking in on them is something that I really felt like I've always done. The professional learning reflections, cultural, digital, and student success. This is something I feel like I'm pretty good at. The digital literacy is a little outside my realm just because of the type of students I currently work with, but it's something that I can be very knowledgeable in if I took have the time to sit down and learn some of it. Student success is my number one priority as a school leader. If you don't have that, then obviously we don't really have a school, or you're not really the leader of that school anymore, because they're going to find somebody that is going to have that success. The reflection piece, I sometimes probably wait a little too long to reflect back on something, so maybe it needs to do a little bit faster, or request feedback from others. I think that would be a big thing as well for me. Last is implementing systems, so supervision, support, evaluation. Since I'm the only adaptive PE teacher for our district, I don't have a huge experience over supervision of like my own staff. I only have one pair that is underneath me, so we get to hang out a lot and we got to know each other really well. I feel like I have that under control, but when it comes to a ton, I have that experience with like obviously coaching and working with kids. But when it comes to other adults, I go to every other school, so they have another leader in charge of them, and I communicate with them a lot on stuff, but also talk to those pairs as well. Support, like I said before, is a strength. I really feel like I can do that really well. The evaluation, I'm able to do this. I do not have a ton of experience within it, but feel like I can do it. Next are my standard statements. I thought this assignment correlated a lot with providing great insight on how to develop capacity in the building relationships. They talked a ton about the norms, supports, and supervisions as in the roles that a school leader may need to know and that may need to possess. The relevant statement was that for me, I'm in need of more of opportunities for being a leader of more individuals at once. And I'd say this is more for the adults. While I'm working on this presentation, I'm able to learn to be a better leader and how to support all around me. Current education role, I am really only in charge of one person at a time, like I just said. The reflection as a future leader, this model will come in handy and be very important. A leader can make or break a success or failure of a building. I will have to know myself and my style of leadership more and refine it before I can really take over a building. A leader is in charge of many knowns and unknown aspects in every discipline of the school. This is from staff, classroom, maintenance, extracurricular activities, etc. So much to know, but you have to be willing to delegate and give out that power to your staff. Following is my references. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch and look forward to watching some of your guys and getting to know you throughout this course. Thank you. Bye.